Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rafaela Kusmantoro. I'm from Psychology Department. I'm here would like to present about my research. It's about the effect of learning achievement on Schadenfreude with self-esteem mediation of student of SMA N1 Kabomas grade 11. The research purposes. This research is to determine the effect of learning achievement on Schadenfreude by mediating self-esteem in 11th grade student of SMA N1 Kabomas. And the background is about the first, it's about senior high school students grow into adulthood, which often occurs with problems that are difficult for both boys and girls to overcome. One of them is conflicts with peers that will trigger Schadenfreude. The term adolescence has a broader meaning, covering mental, intellectual, emotional, social, and physical maturity. This view was expressed by Piaget that psychologically, adolescence is the age when individuals integrate with adult society, where children no longer feel below the level of older people but are at the same level, at least in terms of rights. And Schadenfreude is feeling enjoy of another's unfortune. And this Schadenfreude is cause of Schadenfreude is low self-esteem. Self-esteem is a person's attitude based on the perception of how he values and evaluates himself as a whole, which is in the form of a positive or negative attitude toward himself. So self-esteem and achievement student is connected. They have relationship because if the student get a good score from the school, the student will have a high self-esteem. But if the student get a bad score from the school, it means the student will get a bad the student will get a low self-esteem. That's why self-esteem and achievement is connected. And the next, it's about the method of this research. Okay, this research used a quantitative approach using incidental sampling technique, and this research uses an instrument with a Likert scale model. It distributed questionnaires via Google Form through homeroom teachers in grade 11. The data that has been collected will be analyzed using path analysis technique or path analysis. And the next, the result of this research. There are 4 hypotheses. Let me tell you one by one. The first hypothesis is the table finds the result that learning achievement doesn't have a significant effect on self-esteem, which is shown in the SIG value of 0.288. It means P is bigger than 0.05. Then HA is rejected and HO is accepted. And the second hypothesis is the table finds the result that self-esteem has a significant influence on Schadenfreude, which is shown is a SIG value of 0.004. It means P is lower or smaller than 0.05. P is lower. Then HA is accepted and HO is rejected. And the third hypothesis is the table finds the result that learning achievement has no significant effect on Schadenfreude, which is shown in the SIG value of 0.734. It means P is bigger than 0.05. then HA is rejected and HO is accepted. It's like the first hypothesis. And the last hypothesis, it's about, okay, based on the result of the mediation analysis test, in the table with a significant value, the first indirect effect, P is 0.475 is bigger than 0.05, and indirect effect 0.308 is bigger than 0.05. It means HO is accepted and HA is rejected. So it can be concluded that there is no direct or indirect influence based on a total effect. Next, in discussion, research tried to examine this because the learning achievement variable has a relationship with self-esteem, where if the lower a person's achievement will have a negative assessment of himself. This means that the lower a person's achievement will be the lower the self-esteem. And the self-esteem variable also has a relationship with the Schadenfreude attitude, where if someone's self-esteem is low, then the person's Schadenfreude attitude will be high. Okay, the response of this research of the 11th grade students of SMA N1 Kebomas, totaling is 234 students. After the research conducted assumptions tests, normality tests, linearity tests, multicollinearity tests, and heteroscedasticity tests. And then the next step was to test the hypothesis using simple linear regressions, analyze technique, and mediation trials. Simple linear trial test hypothesis 1 and 2. And the result is like that, like before. Okay, next is the suggestion for the students. The students are expected to no longer like to compare their scores with their friends, because each student must have their own strength in both academic and non-academic fields. And therefore, there is no fit to feel discouraged. Be careful if the student's learning value is smaller than other students, because it will affect learning outcomes as well. If learning achievement is low, self-esteem will also be low, and this will result in Schadenfreude of feelings of pleasure and seeing other people's bad luck. Because according to Van Dyke 2014, individuals who can accept themselves will avoid Schadenfreude. It means you have to accept yourself in order you will avoid Schadenfreude. Okay? And for the teachers are accepted not to look at the student from the grade, because each student has a different capacity. If a teacher likes to compare the student's score with other students will imitate this, which will lead to low student self-esteem. And low self-esteem will cause Schadenfreude. So Schadenfreude is, we should avoid this. Okay, thank you very much for my present. That's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.